Hi guys, coming up in this video we're going to have a look at what causes top shots, thin shots and fat shots with the irons. So to fix this we're going to make sure that we've got the right setup, that we've got at impact the club moving through very shallow on a shallow path, and that we've got the shaft leaning forward. Okay, so we're going to have a look at three possible causes of why you might hit top shots, fat shots or thin shots. And they're all going to be related to the same idea, and if we want to hit solid shots and not hit so many topped and thin shots, what we need is for the golf club to be arcing around really on a shallow path into the ball. So we want the club to be coming from behind in a shallow path to the ball, and at the same time we want to make sure that we've got the shaft leaning forward. So if we can get the shallow path with the club leaning forward, we'll eliminate all of those fat, thin and top shots. So the first cause we're going to have a look at is just the setup. So if I set up with the ball too far forward in the stance and I have my body too far back off the wall, so when I start too much on my right side here, I'm really setting up, if I try and make that shallow swing, I'm going to come in almost too shallow and hit the ball slightly on the up. From this position, another tendency will be to start tilting, so that's also going to put us in a bad position. So number one is that we want to get the right setup. So we want the ball just in here, so just in front of the middle with an iron shot, and then what we're going to do is have the hands a little bit forward, and the body's just going to be leaning here a little bit on what we call on the wall, so the left shoulder and hip and leg are in line, but I'm not tilting the upper body back too far this way. So this is my starting position. So that would be the correct position to be able to make the right swing, so I can make a shallow swing and still be able to make good contact with the ball. So again, that's the setup that we want. What we don't want is this one, too far forward, body leaning too far back. Now the second cause is going to be to do with the body. So if we get too much of a tilting motion, so if I get too tilty with my shoulders on the backswing going under this way, and I stay that way as I start coming down, the club's coming in too steep to the ball. From this position, I'm going to want to try and get back into a better shape, so I start tilting in the other direction. Now if I overdo that, the club's going to be coming too much down into the ground, hitting a fat shot, or if I don't hit the ground, I'm going to be hitting up on the ball too much anyway. So again, it's going to be a thin or a top shot. So what we want to be able to do is, once we've got the right setup, is just learn to turn around our center this way. So this is my spine angle here. I want to maintain that as I'm swinging my arms around my body. So the club and arms go around my body. My shoulders will turn a little bit on a flatter plane, and that way I'll be able to come in this way. So I'm coming in more shallow with the club from behind me. So from behind it's going to look this way. The club's going to be coming in round from behind me, sweeping the ball away, and all I have to do is make sure I've got the leaning shaft. So that's the swing that we want, is to get this club coming in shallow from behind this way. Okay, the third cause of top shots, fat shots and thin shots is going to be through the wrist, and that's by getting too active this way. So we get too flippy with the wrist here at the bottom of the swing, and of course what we want to do is learn to hit with the whole shaft this way. So one of the causes of that could be just as you come down that the club face here is too open, and in order to square the face you're going to flip the hands this way. So what we want to make sure is that when this club comes down, is the club face is square here in this position. We want it square or even slightly closed and not too open. Okay, the more open it is, the more you're going to be forced to flip, and if you flip you'll never have a forward leaning shaft. So if we can get that club face in a nice square position coming down, then we can hit with the whole shaft this way. So if you notice that you've got an open club face and you see that you're flipping at the bottom here, first thing you're going to have to do is have a look at your grip and make sure it's not too weak over in this position here. Make sure you've got at least a neutral grip or even slightly strong, and that way that should help square the club face, and that way you can get that forward shaft lean. So we get the shallow path from maintaining our body angle throughout the swing. That way I can get that club coming through nice and low. Now I'm going to be able to get the forward leaning shaft this way if I have my club face nice and square coming down. So if I've maintained my body angle throughout the swing, and I have the club in a nice square position here, then I can bring the club into the ball nice and shallow with the club leaning forward and really avoid any of these fat and thin shots. So if you do have problems with top shots, thin shots and fat shots, what I would suggest is just build it up from a small motion. So you can start maybe just a little bit narrower in the feet, the ball just in front of the middle. Start with a little bit of shaft lean this way. Make sure you got your body shape right. That means the left side will be straight here on the wall, just a very small angle on the right side. And just build it up from small swings. So when we're doing this, what we want is just really small swings, just like this. So I'm maintaining my body angle, I've got my forward leaning shaft, I've got the right grip so the club face is square. I'm just going to make little swings and just get brushing the grass at the right point. So my club's coming through nice and shallow this way. So the swing has a very big flat spot. So it'll look something like this. Hands forward a little bit with the shaft lean. Left side of the body on the wall. Just make little swings. And just get the ball to react to the club face. So once you get that feeling with the small swing, then you're just going to build it up to a bigger and bigger swing. So as I get bigger, I can go a little bit wider. Make sure I don't have the ball too far forward. Start with the hands forward this way, leaning the shaft. Let the club work back nice and shallow and around. Okay, you can take it up a bit further now. And the same on the way down. You're going to keep your body shape this way, keep the body angle, and just let the club drop down and arc around on a nice shallow path. We've got the right grip, we've got a square club face. We can lean the shaft forward this way as we hit.